A blind knight that uses echolocation, viewing the dark, treacherous world through sound. Trapped in a dungeon keep, endangered by combatants, where hazards lurk around every corner. Make sound to have vision, or don't and be stealthy. Avoid impaling threats throughout the dungeon to escape. Engage with other prisoners.
Rogue Knight I've been hearing about. Could you find the key and unlock my cell?
Free them to fight back with more allies.
Let's take this guy.
The dungeon labyrinth has many paths and even more traps. Struggle through the darkness to find your freedom.
When Alex became a god, he thought he would have no problems at all. Until... he landed in the Divine Dimension and was tasked with protecting the entire multiverse.
Am I connected to every single Alex Ambrose that ever existed?
Alex could travel across dimensions, defying the laws of time and space, to help other Alexes throughout the multiverse. But then everything changed.
No! Aw!
I have to go back and save them.
But if Alex went back to the mortal world, he would relinquish all of his power and his memories.
I don't have a choice. I must go back.
When Alex returned back to Earth, he goes back to being your average business tycoon millionaire, unaware that the people he cared most about are in danger.
Someone help me!
Yvonne, what happened?
I was attacked by a monster. Alex? What's going on? Get away from him! He is my boyfriend!
Who attacked Yvonne in the forest? What will Debbie do next? Who will Alex choose between the two women? Will Alex ever remember who he was before traveling into a different multiverse? To hear what happens next and whether Alex can stop the deranged monster before he strikes again, listen to the original audio drama, Insta Millionaire Returns, only on Pocket FM. Download the app now and find out.
Presentation.
Welcome to the last great Coliseum, as you may have never seen it before. It's covered in dirt. The way it ought to be? That's for you to decide. But we're here tonight at Bristol Motor Speedway. It is season number 9, round at number 10. The Backyard Brawl presented by Car Inside here at the dirt track in Bristol, Tennessee. Welcome into Turn 200's coverage of the Venom Truck Series. My name is Tommy Cook, and it's a bit of a change of pace here tonight as I'm the one directing the stream. So sorry about that in advance, and we'll tell you why here in a second. But I have a special guest here with me this evening. He's a 3-time Truck 200 winner and a dirt connoisseur here on iRacing. Welcome to the booth for the very first time to TJ Crampton. Welcome in, partner. How are we doing?
Doing very good. Excited to be here in booth 200 and getting to know all these Venom truck drivers, and I've raced with a couple of them before, obviously in Truck 200, but some of them this is my first time seeing.
Well, let's get into the point standings after a caution-free race at Nashville Superspeedway last week. And if you look at the leaderboard here, the top 15 in the points, of course, the top 10 in 6 races time, including tonight. are going to be into the chase. There's quite a few names that ran up front last night in Truck 200 and were frequent Monday night guests as well. But the man atop the point standings for the first time in a few weeks is not Matt Schlosser. It is Chad Stearns, by way of him picking up his second victory of the season last week at Nashville Super Speedway. Moves up the leaderboard for Kyle Zittel a little bit further down. Josh Freed moving up as well. Hayden Palumbo has moved down the leaderboard. And things shaping up to be very tight at the bottom of this chart. Somebody that was just in a dash to the chase in a tight point situation. You can relate to how some of these drivers down in 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 13th are feeling coming into tonight's competition, staring down the barrel of just a few races to go until the chase.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, when I was racing in Truck 200, and I had that good stretch of races, I mean, it puts a lot of pressure on you because one wrong strategy call, one wrong mistake, and I mean, especially a track here like Bristol Dirt, everyone's going to be making mistakes. It's just who can limit their mistakes the least. And, you know, especially with the guys in the back and with all the dirt and dust as, you know, the track ages and, you know, changing conditions and stuff. It's gonna be real tough for these drivers, especially the ones that are feeling the pressure in that cutoff line. Well,
let's get into why Mr. TJ Crampton is joining us here tonight, which, first of all, thank you for being here tonight. But we have a special guest out on the track, and we're going to pull him into booth 200 right now on his qualifying lap. It is Matt Williamson. On the track, making his Venom Truck Series debut here tonight in the last Great Coliseum. How about it?
What's up, baby?
Well, I mean, we just reset the track here. What is it like out there? What's it been like in practice as well? I mean, you got damn near 50 laps in practice.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of practice, the track was super slicked off. I mean, there was no real grip out there to be had, especially on entry into the corners. Right now, when it's pretty green like this, because it's a reset to 0, it is pretty tight. It's very hard to run the wall. I think it's harder to run the wall right now than it is later in the runs. So I think the carnage, to be honest, is going to happen at the beginning of these races, but I don't know. We'll have to see.
And carnage as well. We're going to have some heat races here, a little bit of a different format, but 32 drivers rather. That's a lot for a dirt race.
It is, yeah. Yeah, you hit it right on the head. That is gonna be this is gonna be a night to remember. That's for sure.
Well, I think I finished 27th at Auto Club, so that's what you have to beat here tonight. So go out and get her done. We'll hopefully talk to you at one of these heat races or the feature.
I'm hoping so, buddy.
And do you concur with what Matt said there? I know you got some laps in on this setup as well.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a challenge, especially, like, I agree with him in pretty much every way. I mean, 33 cars or trucks, rather. It's going to be chaos. And these heat races, I mean, these drivers are going to try to get every position they can because it determines the starting lineup for the main race. And track position is probably going to be key, especially, you know, with everyone doing slide jobs and stuff and just different lines. Both of you hit it on the nail.
Well, let's go ahead and get into our first heat race starting lineup as qualifying has concluded. And it should not be a shock to see the driver that was fastest in qualifying here tonight. He's the odds-on favorite to take home the checkered flag at the end of the night. Joshua Monacek will lead the field to green here in heat race number 1. Preach Luke Peterson will be starting to his outside on the front row. Tyler Logan going to line up at third. Ryan Dye is back in the lineup tonight, the 2-time series champ. First time he's been with the Venom Truck Series since, I think, round 3 of this season. Matt Schlosser will round out the top 5 starters. Your car inside in-season tournament winner, Zach Lockett, finished P6 at Nashville Superspeedway last week. He will start P6 in his heat here this evening. I'm surprised Jeremy McKinnon is here. He detests dirt track racing, but he will start from 7th nonetheless. Greg Elliott will have an EOL in the feature here tonight, but still bonus points on the line for these heat races. Tyler Bergert, RJ Starcevic in under the wire, and he's going to give the dirt track racing a go here tonight. Eric Breeding will be your 11th and final starter here in heat race number 1. So we'll shake the starting grid here. We'll give you the weather conditions as trucks start to roll off. Disregard the track temperature because it's dirt. I don't think it matters all that much, but an ambient temperature is 75, and the sun is beginning to set on a relatively fresh track. I mean, what are these drivers going to be experiencing here?
Well, especially early with this green track, it's going to be full throttle. These guys are going to be trying to get to that bottom lane. Now, I think as towards we get to second heat and third heat, maybe there'll be some slick on that bottom lane as these guys keep using it over and over and over again. And I think maybe the marble line might be a little bit faster as we get into some of the later heats. And
you and I are very familiar with dirt track racing, so we may have to break it down a little bit for the folks that are hanging out with us here tonight as the night rolls along. But certainly we won't have to school up the Modicek gang on dirt track racing whatsoever. They're here in full force. Hello to Bailey Marie. Hello to Robin. Hello to James Coleman cheering on Austin Holyfield tonight. Of course, RJ Starcevic rocking the Team 200 truck. Will be getting some points for the team here tonight as well. And shout out to Lindsey G cheering on Brantley Gainey, who we'll see here in one of our 3 heat races here this evening. We'll talk to the 3 heat race winners during the warm-up period. And the top 3 from each heat race will also score some bonus points here this evening. And as we're eyeing some chase runs, every point is going to matter. We're underway here at Bristol Dirt for heat race number 1 in the Backyard Brawl. Modicek slides up, but maybe a bit too far. They're stacking up behind. Peterson and Logan now side by side behind, and the caution is out for a 10-lap heat here. Not sure why. What did I miss?
What it sounds like Poliski hit the wrong button.
Aha. Well, that'll happen.
Yeah, I mean, these guys are wheeling, so he might have hit the button on a steering wheel or hit a hand or elbow on a keyboard.
Now, we've had Garrett Rainey in the past have his cat jump on the keyboard and hit the hotkey for the caution. So Poliski not in this heat. Who knows? But, I mean, that is only going to serve to increase the intensity and not improve the track state whatsoever. If we thought that was an aggressive slider from Modicek at a turn number 2, then I don't think we've seen anything yet.
And I want to say at least 3 or 4 cars hit the wall off of turn 2 as well, just from that aggressive start. So some trucks might have a bit of damage to the right front as well.
So they'll restart with Modicek, the control car here. Peterson to his outside. Logan and Dye on row 2. McKinnon, Schlosser, row 3. Lockett, Elliott, row 4. Bergert, Breeding, and Starcevic in 11th. Everybody transfers. We don't have to worry about any of that. We're back underway now. 7 laps to go for Joshua Modicek up front. Peterson with a pretty good jump. But wide there out of turn number 2, and there goes Tyler Logan and Ryan Dye through. Jeremy McKinnon trying to sneak underneath the Ryan Dye here for 3rd.
Oh, and preach Peterson. Luke Peterson gets hit. They are 3 wide in the back. Greg Elliott all over the place.
Peterson tumbling down the running order here as Joshua Modicek continues to lead. McKinnon in 2nd. Dye up into the wall. It opens the door for Matt Schlosser.
Schlosser going to get past Ryan Dye. And McKinnon, you said he didn't like dirt racing, but he's running in 2nd right now.
He likes running Bristol and the occasional short track here and there, but he was lobbying to get this race to put back to Auto Club. Not going to happen. Now he's going to lose 2nd to Matt Schlosser. He might lose 3rd here to Ryan Dye as the 2-time series champ is digging hard underneath. 4 laps to go. All the battling taking place behind Joshua Modicek, who is out to a 2.5-second lead. But McKinnon likes to drive aggressive, and certainly you not just are asked to drive aggressive tonight. You have to drive aggressive once you're on the dirt.
Yeah, and especially with a green track like this, as he gets in the back of Ryan Dye, and Dye is all over the place, but he's going to save it. Now McKinnon's going to go around on the outside. But yeah, this, especially the green racetrack, you have to go full throttle, and you have to be on that bottom. And, you know, when you see these guys get tight, they're lifting entering the corner, and that front end is just not allowed to travel, and you can't swing that rear end around.
Dye slides up, takes 3rd back from McKinnon. 2 laps to go. Joshua Modicek at the front of the field. We'll see the white flag this time. Our ticker is huffing and puffing here, as it always does in the heat races. So we'll keep it off for now and hope it sorts itself out. Checkered flag is out. Joshua Matacek to the stripe will win heat race number 1 here at the Backyard Brawl. Matt Schlosser in second and Ryan Dye. Not points racing, but he'll pick up a bonus point nonetheless. Jeremy McKinnon will finish in 4th. Zach Lockett in 5th. Luke Peterson in 6th. Greg Elliott finishes 7th. Eric Breeding in 8th. Tyler Bergert in 9th. RJ Starcevic in 10th. And a DNF for Tyler Logan will put him deep in tonight's feature starting lineup. So with that, we'll hope that the starting grid will decide to work. Sometimes it doesn't, but it does on this occasion here at Bristol Dirt. Heat race number 2 is on the way. It is John Kay and Matt Williamson on the front row. God bless them both. They're going to wreck each other. I feel it. Hunter Leach is back in the lineup tonight for Team 199, and he will start in 3rd. Chad Stearns, last week's race winner, on the outside of row number 2. Ronnie Matney, Austin Holyfield, the dark horse here tonight, will start on row number 3. Steve Roman, Gary Clark on row 4. Kyle Zittle, Cole Maxwell, and Pascal Simard, the rest of the starting lineup. What did you see that you liked there in heat race number 1?
I mean, the racing was very hard, pretty much from like 4th on back, with the guys trying to get the positions. Obviously, the normal people that we would think were up front. So, but this one I feel like is going to be a little bit more chaotic than what we saw in that last one.
Now, to give some background on why Matt Williamson picked this race in particular to make his first career start with the Venom Truck Series, he started on iRacing doing exclusively dirt. He didn't touch pavement for over a year after he got on the Sims. So dirt racing is his IRL background. It is where his heart is, even though he's a big NASCAR fan. That is why he is rocking here tonight on the dirt in Bristol. And he expects to compete, much like I did at Auto Club before I crapped the bed there. But, I mean, he is putting his money where his mouth is right off the rip here. This would have put him, I think, 5th fastest in qualifying. So Matt Williamson for real here on the outside. John Kay, another driver that a lot of drivers are looking at here tonight, running the Scott Bloomquist-inspired JK numbered car here this evening. And we'll see what John has as the control car here. Heat race number 2 is underway. Some drivers loose, including Hunter Leach there. Chad Stearns trying to go around the outside to take 3rd. He will shore it up pretty quickly. Williamson bangs it off the wall in 2nd. John Kay, the leader, into turn number 3.
Hunter Leach to the inside of Chad Stearns for 3rd, but he's going to hit that apron, and Chad Stearns is going to go around the top side, and here comes Austin Holyfield. He's going to go to the outside of Hunter Leach, and he's trying to take 4th place.
Holyfield in the top 5 in practice speed. He qualified way down the charts. I'm sure he was looking for more, so he'll have to dig hard here in just 10 laps. Now 9 to go at the stripe. Stearns trying to track down Williamson, who is keeping John Kay right in his crosshairs. Holyfield up to 4th now around the outside of Hunter Leach, as we welcome Kevin Sargent into the stream and Tyler Bergert. Take a quick peek here at the ticker, and it's working again. How about that? 7 to go.
Williamson's hanging on to the back bumper of John Kay, but it's just consistency is key, especially with a green track like this. You want to be consistent, and John Kay, he's been doing that better. Chad Stearns still running in 3rd, Holyfield in 4th, and Hunter Leach in 5th.
Yeah, Holyfield.
And everything's pretty much single file.
Holyfield is closed up here very nicely. You start to see the top of this track get the loose stuff on it, as Gary Clark has just gone around at the back of the field, and I think he has he's going to jump back into his pit stall. Oh, and the ticker has broken again. Oh, Lord. No bueno.
I will tell you what, Vroman and Matney have been going at it this entire race for that 6th position. Matney just hasn't been able to get around Vroman.
And we'll come back to Bristol proper later this season as well, and it's where we always compete for a jar of honey from Steve Roman's apiary and none of your beeswax. So a little double home track action for Steve here this season in the Venom Truck Series. Stearns still trying to fend off the 10 of Austin Holyfield. I would imagine we've got about 2 laps to go. We'll see as John Kay crosses the stripe.
1 to go next time by.
All right. So the Illinois green is waving. Williamson with a good gap in front of him to Kay. Good gap back to Chad Stearns, who's going to have his hands full here. Holyfield just outside of the playoff picture currently. He would love another bonus point. It's right there in front of him. 1 lap to go.
Holyfield can get there, but he just keeps getting too sideways and hitting the apron, and that's just too many mistakes. And Chad Stearns being consistent right in that middle lane, running right where I guess you could call the cushion on the marbles.
Out of turn 4, heat race number 2 goes to John Kay. We'll try and do a quick reset here with SDK. Matt Williams in second, Chad Stearns third, Austin Holyfield in fourth. And he did the Bloomer proud here with a heat race victory. All right, there's the session status. Can we get a starting grid here? We sure can. Heat race number 3 on tap. Hayden Palumbo will lead the field to the green. Andy Poliski will start to his outside. Brody Gunter and Jan Van Leer on row number 2. It is Kevin Sargent and Brantley Gainey on row 3. Brian Mitchell, who was very fast in practice, way back there in the 7th starting position. Josh Freed, runner-up last week at Nashville Superspeedway, starts in 8th. Josh Jackson and Garrett Rainey got to round out the top 10. Sun continues to go down here. And I don't think people realize how much weather, at least in real life, maybe not as much in the sim, plays a factor into maintaining the track state here.
Yeah, I don't know how well it is on iRacing, but if it's really windy, it dries out the surface really fast and it gets really dusty, and you start to lose that track moisture, and then it just crumbles and you get all those marbles that you see up top. And from what I'm seeing on this track surface right now, it seems like there's a little bit of slick entering the corners, but other than that, it's still pretty good on the bottom.
So there is the Southeast Hydrovac, number 54, Hayden Palumbo. Lost a spot in the standings, but still well above the cut line. He's right or hovering around the comfortable area. I think he was plus 46 entering tonight's competition. But it can all go south here pretty quickly.
Yeah, and Poliski above him is only plus 19, so for him to get a good finish here in this heat race would be pretty good
and
for him in his points.
Poliski's on a roll. His season was dead in the water until a couple of weeks ago when he finally got onto the podium for the first time this season at the Daytona Road Course. He followed it up with another strong run last week. Green flag is out here, heat race number 3. Oh, Palumbo loose. Poliski
we're wrecking in the back.
Oh, problems.
Brian
Mitchell is backwards and into the outside wall, and he will tow back to the pits straight away. Palumbo, after the early surge ahead there from Poliski, will regain the top spot across the stripe. Poliski running in second. Brody Gunter is up to third. Gunter has missed 2 races this season. They were given 1 provisional, but last week he just wasn't there. So that is massive points lost. He was already hovering around the cut line anyway. He needs bonus points to get himself back into the fight.
Kevin Sargent just door slammed John Van Leer for that 5th position. Now John trying to get back to the inside, but hits the apron, not quite able to get by him, and Kevin will retain that 5th position.
Jan has not been in a good way these last couple of weeks, and I call him JVL. Of course, you and I are both wrestling fans. It harkens to JBL. I'm not too sure that Jan won't be dishing out a few clotheslines from hell here tonight if it comes down to it, because he did not have a good week last week at Nashville, and he's another one that's right on that cut line coming into tonight.
And this battle for the lead is heating up. Poliski about hit the back bumper of Palumbo entering turn 1 this time. And now Brody Gunter's all over the back bumper of them two as well. And Brantley Gainey's been slowly moving his way up, and he's in 4th.
Poliski just took a big chunk out of Palumbo there, ran straight into the tailgate. Unfortunately, it's going to open the door now as one of the more heated rivalries in the Venom Truck Series, now side by side for second. Gunter on the bottom, Poliski on top. They've crossed paths multiple times this season. But for now, Poliski hanging on to P2 with 4 laps to go. And all three of these drivers are in the points right now, but Brantley Gainey closing into the picture here.
Yeah, Gainey got a good start and passed a couple trucks early and caught these three and has a good chance to get a couple more, but I don't know if he might be running out of time.
He very well may. 3 laps to go. Mistakes have been easy to come by, though, for a lot of these drivers. And now Gunter up into the cushion there. Gainey was able to gain a little bit. And I think the focus shifting now for Gunter back to defense. 2 to go.
Poliski's starting to pull away here. He keeps getting that entry into the slick in turn 1, and he's not getting a good run through that. And Palumbo might have the best chance here.
Poliski really cranking it in there. Coming to the white flag, it's all Hayden Palumbo up front. What should be our final heat race of the evening. Moticek, the winner of heat race number 1. Heat race number 2 went to John Kay. Out of turn number 4, Hayden Palumbo will see the checkered flag here in heat race number 3. Side by side for second at the stripe, give it to Poliski. And Gunter will take the final bonus point of the night. Brantley Gainey in 4th as they wad it up. Jan Van Leer will finish in 5th. Josh Freed in 6th. Kevin Sargent in 7th. Garrett Rainey in 8th. Josh Jackson in 9th. And Brian Mitchell with the early incident there will finish in the 10th position. So we will pull up the heat race winners just kind of as they come into the waiting room here. So we'll start with your winner of heat race number 2, and that is John Kay. Running the Bloomer scheme here tonight, and that 2JK saw its way to the front of the field there in heat race number 2. How about it?
Yeah, that was fun. I know there's a lot of people complaining about this. I'm glad Dirt's back. It took me all week to figure out the set, and I thought I was going to lay an egg in this scheme, so at least I won something.
You've got one checker. What's the expectation for the rest of the night now? I know you're starting towards the front.
Keep the truck out of trouble. Keep it out of trouble, stage points, and then just let the chips fall where they do. Josh is really damn good, and he'll probably pull about 8/10 on the first lap. So we're just going to do our best and make whatever we can get to happen.
Well, thanks
like that, like driving the wall.
Yeah, don't do that.
No, don't do that.
Well, thanks for the time here. Best of luck. We'll hope to talk to you again at the end of the night.
Fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. Thank you.
And Joshua Moticek is out on the track right now.
So is Hayden Palumbo. He's out on racetrack.
Unfortunately, Palumbo is not in this Discord server, and I don't know if I should hot swap Joshua Moticek in. I mean, he'll like the TV time, just in case. We're going to hot swap in your heat race number 1 winner, Joshua Moticek, into booth 200. Congrats on the heat win. Congrats on the quick time earlier tonight as well.
Yeah, thanks, guys. First pole position in Venom, so I'm super thrilled about that.
Yeah, that's one more notch in the belt. You've got the win with the Venom Truck Series last season at Talladega. I don't need to tell you how rough this season's been for you. I mean, how are we feeling headed into tonight?
Just excited to race on dirt, really. Grew up racing on dirt, go-karts, dirt cars, a little bit of everything. So, I mean, really just thrilled for a good race. I know we've got a couple in here who are quick on dirt. Hayden Palumbo's been quick. John Kay's been pretty quick. So, super stoked to just get in here and run some of what I love instead of asphalt. So,
well, you're obviously very fast, and that is certainly going to be part of the equation to get this truck to victory lane here tonight. But how much are you factoring in being vigilant and staying aware of who you're around? I know that's a big part of racing dirt in real life.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely going to come into a play. I think once the track gets slick and passing starts to be a little bit less of an option, to know who you're around, how they race, and where you can give and take and make moves. It's definitely going to be important further we get into this night. Hopefully not have too many cautions. Just looking for a solid run to get some solid points on the board again.
Well, thanks for the time here. Go get them. We'll hopefully talk to you again here in 80 laps.
Thanks, guys.
And, oops, I just moved him into the wrong room. There we go. Okay. So, yeah. I mean, this is not everybody's bag, like John and Joshua both alluded to there. But boy, you could tell who the guys that at least put in the practice, if not are enjoying themselves coming into tonight, are getting ready for. I think. All right, we just got a track refresh. It looks a lot greener and a lot meaner. And these drivers putting in laps here in this short warm-up period is going to try and help dial this track in as the night rolls along.
I feel like the way the track looks right now, I feel like it'll be relatively close to what we saw at the end of that third heat. Maybe a little bit less slick on entry into the corners, but where that marble line, where that cushion is, I think that's right where it was at the end of that third heat.
So you are one of these drivers. Maybe you didn't get the result that you wanted in the heat race. You're staring down the barrel of 80 laps. How do you attack this race with all that in mind, with track position, like you said earlier, being key?
I mean, honestly, if I was someone starting in the back, I would just take it easy for this race. I mean, you know that there's going to be plenty of mistakes. There's probably going to be a lot of accidents. Hopefully not for our sake, but just from my knowledge and experience, especially on iRacing, I feel like there's going to be at least a couple of incidents for sure. And I think, honestly, if you can get by that, you're going to be in a pretty good position as we get towards the middle part and also the later stages of this race.
Well, thanks to Ty Coleman for hopping in, cheering on Austin Holyfield. And with that, we are ready to go for tonight's 80 laps. It's the Backyard Brawl at Bristol, presented by Car Inside. And your starting lineup, your 3 heat race winners up at the front of this field. Joshua Matacek leads the field to green. John Cade was outside. Hayden Palumbo, Matt Schlosser on row 2. Matt Williamson, Andy Poliski on row 3. Ryan Dye, Chad Stearns on row number 4. It's Brody Gunter and Jeremy McKinnon on the 5th row. Row 6 is Austin Holyfield and Brantley Caney. Zach Lockett and Hunter Leach on row 7. Jan Van Leer and Luke Peterson on row 8. Row number 9 is Steve Froman on the inside. Josh Freed on the outside. And your top 20 is rounded out by Greg Elliott and Rodney Matney. 21st is Kevin Sargent. Eric Breeding will start in 22nd. Row number, 12? Kyle Zittel and Garrett Rainey. Tyler Bergert and Cole Maxwell on row 13. Josh Jackson, RJ Starcevic, Pascal Samard, Brian Mitchell, the top 30. And the back of the starting lineup tonight is Tyler Logan and Gary Clark. 32 drivers, 80 laps. We are going to be stringent on cautions is the word from race control. They are not a guarantee. We're looking for big crashes. I think we will find big crashes. Maybe is the problem with that. So we may not have to look very hard. Beautiful night here in virtual Bristol, Tennessee. Beautiful facility. If you've never gone, put it on your list. And I've been there. I've been there to a Bristol dirt race as well. I'm very partial. I do kind of wish that they kept the spring Bristol dirt race, but I understand logistically it's a pain. It didn't sell many tickets, but by golly, the racing was actually pretty good here. They should be racing dirt somewhere, in my opinion. But I'm not in charge, luckily for anybody else. Otherwise, we'd be really doing some wacky stuff. How do you settle yourself in here? Final pace lap before we go green.
Well, honestly, say a prayer, put the foot to the floor. Now, I will say turn 1 is going to be interesting. There is a big strip of that slick entering turn 1 right on that middle line. So if you don't put your right rear on that early, and if they do, I think we'll see some cars slide up into each other. That might have an early caution. As if these drivers, I mean, obviously some of these drivers not big fans and don't know much about dirt, so they're going to try to run that slick.
Yeah, especially those drivers in heat races 1 and 2 may not have had to deal with much of the slick. Well, they're about to find out. Green flag is waving. The Bristol Brawl, presented by Car Inside, is on. Matacek up in front of John Kay, has the lead outright. Kay in second, Palumbo in third. Matt Williamson challenging for fourth underneath Matt Schlosser. Poliski, a little bit of contact. He's in the middle of 3 wide there with Ryan Dye underneath. Dye fades away as Poliski and Schlosser go in the wrong direction here. Williamson now challenging for third underneath Palumbo.
And man, some of these guys, especially in the back, they are all over the place. Slide job right there from Ryan Dye on Poliski. Schlosser's now going to go to the bottom of Poliski. These guys are shuffling to the top to the bottom. They're trying to find that clean air to get by.
Brody Gunter already +4, and he's up to 5th now as Palumbo, John Kay, Matt Williamson all right here together. Palumbo took that spot away. Now is going to give up 2. As Williamson almost clear up there on Palumbo, challenging for a spot on the podium. Really working this bottom side of the track, which we know eventually is not going to be where you want to be. It may be right now, in fact, as Williamson trying to move at least towards the middle of the track here.
Someone is spun in the back. Roman is destroyed. He's heading to pit road.
Oh, not the home track driver. Number 00, Steve Roman, is towed back to the pits. Coming off his first top 5 finish of the season last week. John Kay up into the wall to turn number 2. And that will allow Palumbo to get back through. Williamson now underneath. And here's Brody Gunter into the scene as Matt loses the nose on the 0-2. And he'll give up the spot.
Yeah, that bottom line is starting. It's still viable on exit, but entry, it's so slick already on entry that I don't know if it's good. I mean, obviously Matt Williamson's going to try it, and he's going to try to do a slide job, but stays on that middle line. Chad Stearns and Schlosser contact off of turn 4, 3 wide, and Ryan Dye's going to get past both of them.
Ryan Dye up to 7th. Here's Stearns really cranking it underneath, 04 and 05. Here's Austin Holyfield into the mix now. He's in 10th, looking for a couple more. Meanwhile, Kay and Williamson still going at it. Brody Gunter here rounding out the top 5. John Kay rode the wall there for quite some time a couple laps ago. As caution is out, and Greg Elliott has spun at the back of the field. And we will bunch this field up here 10% of the way through this one. And we will see what went down here with driver 91. And it's already in progress here. We're going to have to back it up. I'm not sure what this camera is looking at. So there's Freed into the wall. Peterson in the middle there. Peterson will wash down the track. And just some tank swapping there. Elliott back up in front of Kyle Zittel, who I'm assuming is the one that threw the caution there. And Elliott getting bounced around the middle of this field. That is not a fun feeling whatsoever. We'll take this again, full speed, this time kickbot cam. You can already see the hands working there. Let's back this up and show you what these drivers are battling against here. So right there into the field of view comes the 38. Lots of opposite lock on the steer. I mean, this steering wheel is going bananas. There's the contact with Zittel. Josh Jackson just barely squeaks by there. Gary Clark not so lucky. We'll come back to the live action now, as we're under the caution for the first time.
I think that's a little bit of an inexperience on dirt from Greg Elliott. I mean, car control's big on dirt, but it just feels like, I mean, I don't know. It's just such a tough way. Obviously, tank slapping, you're out of control already in the corners, but and especially going full throttle down the straightaways, it's just rough.
So Joshua Monacek, not a shock, has led up the whole way thus far. Hayden Palumbo in second, John Kay in third. Boy, Matt Williamson in fourth. He's doing me proud already. I don't even care where he finishes. He's running into the top 5 in the Venom Truck Series, and this is super, super cool, just having him down there. So he's in fourth. Brody Gunter is in fifth. Here's Andy Poliski in sixth. Ryan Dye in seventh. Matt Schlosser in eighth. Austin Holyfield and Chad Stearns round out the top 10. Hunter Leach was making a pass on Chad Stearns for that 10th spot right as the caution came out. So Leach +3 from the drop of the green. He's the only rookie in the field here tonight, and he is also a driver because he's friends with Matt Williamson, of course. He started on the dirt. He prefers the dirt. He loves racing the late models and the midgets in particular. So this is a race that he was very much looking forward to in his limited Venom Truck Series appearances here this season. And got a top 10 in Truck 200 at Volusia as well. Monacek finished second in that race. He finished second in 3 Truck 200 races this season. But boy, he has had a rough go of it here in the Venom Truck Series in his sophomore year. What a way to get yourself out of the sophomore slump than with a victory here tonight. He's got a long way to go to secure the bag, though. Coming to lap 13 of 80. Back it away. Ooh, Williamson, not a great start there. Gunter might be able to slide up in front of this 0-2. Side by side for second, Palumbo and Kay. Move Gunter into the mix. Poliski with a dive underneath of the 0-2 of Williamson. Matt with the momentum fighting back. But it's all Monachek up front.
This bottom is starting to get rough, but I'll tell you what. These people are trying to run the top. I just saw like 5 trucks hit the wall in turn 1 and 2.
Whoa!
Brody Gunter
turns
and
Gunter.
Ryan
Dye in the mix there as well. And we're under caution. Oh my lord, this is
track blocker.
Absolute catastrophe. Some get through, some do not. There's Samard, Maxwell, Gary Clark, Eric Breeding, Zach Lockett in here as well. Oh my lord, and it started with Gunter moving down the track, Poliski trying to run the bottom. They get tangled together, and I think Ryan Dye was spinning before that, maybe in reaction to what he saw in front of him. But either way, what a mess.
And that was what I was afraid of early in this race, with the track being so green, and now with the slick on the bottom as well, people are starting to have issues holding that truck down there, and it was bound to happen, unfortunately.
Oh, it is already in progress here. We're going to back it up. So there you see Gunter. Yeah, that's just typical dirt track stuff there. And Holyfield and Dye got together at the same time. That was 2 incidents converging into one. And I mean, look at this. I mean, it stacked up there very quickly, and we're on dirt. But I think some of that could have been avoided.
I will give these drivers the benefit of the doubt, though. In the test that I did earlier, it is really hard to stop. It took me from full lock. It took a while to stop the truck, so it's not like asphalt where you can just slam the brakes and come to a stop in a pretty quick fashion. The truck does slide a little bit when you get on the brakes.
Just see how much this is going to stack up here. I mean, there are drivers everywhere across the front stretch. And there sits Pascal Samard on pit road. Josh Freed is getting serviced. Cole Maxwell back out on track. Man, oh man. So 2 cautions, that already matches the Bristol dirt record, and both of them have been warranted as well. Obviously, the one in heat race number 1 was a mistake, but I mean, those are 2 fairly big crashes. One in the middle to back of the field, and one plumb dead center in the top 5, and everybody had to either pray that they were going to miss that one or just take a big chunk out of it. We're doubled up here. Monachek in control. John Cato is outside. Palumbo and Williamson on row 2. Schlosser and Poliski on row 3. Back to it.
The good thing about those drivers, that got damaged, it is Bristol dirt. Aero doesn't really mean much, and I mean, engine damage isn't also the worst here either. So I feel like the drivers that have damage, they still could have a shot at a good finish.
Ooh, Matt on
Josh
Matt action
Jackson.
there. And Josh Jackson with a problem. Oh, he has put Ryan Dye into the inside wall hard. We're still green. Palumbo up the track. John Kay way up the track into the wall. Poliski through on Williamson. Chad Stearns trying to get through now as well.
Oh, Chad Stearns tight up the hill. Williamson down the hill,
we are
trying to
almost
get to the inside.
4 wide. Monachek continuing to show the way, not missing anything at the front of this field. 2.5 second lead for him already. As Williamson's starting to go backwards here, he's back to 8th.
Yeah, that bottom line I feel like has very little life left in it.
Oh, Stearns really cranking it in there down low. Trying to get through on Poliski for 5th, and it's not going to work. It may cost him the 6th spot here as well, as here's Brantley Gaynor to the top side.
Man, Chad Stearns is really sending it like you said. He is so sideways into the corner. I mean, if he's any more sideways, that truck is going to step out on him and he's going to lose it. But he's doing a good job right now trying to get by Brantley Gaynor, but he's going to lose that. And here comes Matt Williamson, but Stearns is able to get up to that top side. Oh, man.
Man, Brantley. He hung it in there, too. Schlosser caught Palumbo for 2nd, but is not doing anything as of now. Schlosser with a slip up there. It'll send him backwards towards John Kay here.
Oh, Matney just put a big block on Holyfield. Holyfield almost in the wall. Ooh. Matney sideways.
Here's Jeremy McKinnon into the mix now. He has not been in the top 10 yet. Pretty good in his heat race. Hunter Leach with a big hole punched in the nose of that F-150. Just behind them, 12th.
Here comes Gainey, side by side.
Whoa, oh no, there goes Gainey! Around in the middle of the field, he'll try to get down to the bottom of the track. I think we're going to stay green, but that takes Gainey from 7th down to 23rd.
The first of many commentator curses.
Yeah,
I'm sure I will.
Welcome to the club. Oh, there's a little door check from McKinnon to Rodney Matney. Matney with a crossover. And still trying to run that bottom. But McKinnon going to get a great run off this top side here. So Schlosser.
Yeah.
Oh, more problems further back. Eric Breeding, Brody Gunter stomped in the middle of the track. And we still have not thrown the caution. They are driving straight into oncoming traffic here. We're still green. Oh, boy. That was risky.
That could have been bad.
I would argue it might have been. But it didn't take out your front runner, Joshua Matacek. There was a very similarly painted truck on the scene of the accident, but it was not him. Still green here. Lap 31 on the board. That's Schlosser in 2nd. John Kay in 3rd. Hayden Palumbo has slipped back to 4th. Here's Chad Stearns in 5th. Andy Poliski in 6th. Matt Williamson riding in 7th. Austin Holyfield, Jeremy McKinnon, and Hunter Leach now in the top 10. Cole Maxwell a lap down in the lead pack.
Chad Stearns side by side with Hayden Palumbo trying to get that 4th position.
Right along with Stearns here underneath this 54. And he's on the bottom of 3 wide. That's Pascal Simard who's a lap down. The door shuts. Poliski now trying to hang on to this truck. Matt Williamson will try and take advantage. But again, can't get enough drive there on the bottom to make it stick.
That was smart from Chad Stearns right there. He took a really low entry into turn.
Williamson might get clear on Poliski now as Andy is trying to dig underneath. That got set in motion with contact between those two and with Palumbo as well as... Oh, Williamson straights out into the 54 of Palumbo. Here's Austin Holyfield
3
now.
wide.
Look at this gaggle. Poliski back through on Williamson now trying to get clear on the 0-2. McKinnon straight lines it into the wall. It's Garrett Rainey just trying to stay out of the way. Up to the top side of the track. And into the wall he goes. Well, Williamson up to 6 now. Poliski into the top 5.
Oh, we're wrecking Garrett Rainey.
Problems. Garrett Rainey, Eric Breeding to the inside wall. We are still green. Joshua Matacek, 3.3 second lead over Matt Schlosser in 2nd. John Kay is in 3rd, and into the wall he goes. Chad Stearns in 4th. Here's Poliski in 5th.
Palumbo is getting used up right now. Just got moved out of the way by Jeremy McKinnon. and he lost 2 positions right there.
Palumbo's starting to fall. He's to 9th. He's got some space back to Hunter Leach now, so any moment that you can get in a dirt race to sort of regroup, zen for a corner or two, and get back on it. I'm sure he would appreciate that, because you're right. He got bounced around there for a good 5-6 laps.
Matt Williamson trying to catch up to Poliski here. Poliski ran the bottom last time by, and that allowed Williamson to get back onto his rear bumper, and now we'll see if Williamson can do anything.
Poliski finished on the podium here all the way back in Season 5. That was the last time he ran here. As we're across the halfway mark of the race. 40 down and 40 to go. All Matacek up front, 4-second lead for him.
Holyfield to the inside of McKinnon, not quite able to make that work.
And now I think everybody's in on it at this point at the bottom. I mean, certainly you can use it if you have to, but it is not where you want to be.
I think the smartest thing that I've seen so far has been Chad Stearns. The bottom is pretty much
McKinnon
so slick.
Hit by Garrett Rainey there, who lost it there. And turn number 2.
Oh, no!
And now up into Austin Holyfield. Oh, man. McKinnon not going to be very happy about that one. Yeah, Zach Lockett in the chat here early. Also, Leo Smith hanging out with us. Certainly is. Zach Lockett will get to have his fun next week, though. We're at the Monza right-turning oval for the All-Star race. Lots of Italian yees will be hot there. Very excited for that one.
Oh man, Williamson and Poliski both got tight in turns 1 and 2 and hit the wall pretty much the same way. These two are driving the absolute heck out of the race trucks right now, trying to get away from each other.
So lots of space now between our top 6 or so. Here is Hunter Leach trying to defend against Luke Peterson. Hayden Palumbo is right there as well. So this is 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th with Tyler Logan. Logan, the hard charger, right now plus 20 after DNFing his heat race earlier. So he's gone from the back trying to get into the top 10. Leach with a look to the inside here of Palumbo. Hunter able to make this middle work. He's running the slick right up Main Street there. Looks like there's a little bit left there in 3 and 4, but 1 and 2 is used up. Still having a good go here.
Palumbo has some, looks like left front damage, so I don't know if that's hurting him or what, but like he's been falling back pretty much ever since the last restart.
Good work there by Leach. He's clear on the 54, and he's up to 8th. This is already a career day for Hunter Leach. He's yet to crack the top 15 in his limited Venom Truck Series appearances. Palumbo now
on the wall
with his hands full with Tyler Logan, with his hands full with Luke Peterson and his own truck. Little blinking there from the 38. So he tries to work down low. It's always a bit unnerving.
Yeah, especially at a track like Bristol Dirt, when someone's blinking, you already don't kind of know where they're going, and if they're blinking on dirt, you really don't know where they're going.
Inside of 30 laps to go. I mean, how much is the track going to continue to evolve with everybody still running this topside for the most part, as Tyler Logan hits a slider on Leach. Hunter with a crossover. I mean, how much further can this track evolve from where it's at right now?
Honestly, I think the only thing that can happen is maybe the cushion that's on the wall right now. It can, I mean, they are running on it, so they can either flatten it out, or if there's any marbles left, which I mean, there's not really many besides like the corner entry. I don't know. I think right now we might have seen the full track evolve, but The only thing that can change now is the cushion. I think the cushion's going to keep getting thinner and thinner the higher and higher they run.
Matt Williamson getting reeled in here by Austin Holyfield. Holyfield looking for what would be a 6th place finish. I believe that would match his career best for the Venom Truck Series. Let's give a call to, as he's having some internet connectivity issues. RJ Starcevic is running 13th, though. We'll put that on the record right now. Hopefully that gets settled down here momentarily. Sure, he'll be tickled pink with that, though. Williamson able to keep Holyfield at bay currently. Joshua Matichek's lead is shrinking. It was up to 4 seconds. It's now down to 2.8. Matichek is running the bottom of this track.
Yeah, from what I'm seeing, a lot of drivers are running the bottom. It's about a good mix of half and half. Matichek's been running the bottom. I've been seeing Chad Stearns, Holyfield, Poliski. I think we've gotten to that point where maybe the top is that cushion is too thin for these drivers to run on. I think we're now starting to migrate either to the middle or bottom of the racetrack.
So Joshua Matichek is about to put Luke Peterson a lap down, and Peterson's running in the 11th. I mean, Schlosser able to keep pace and actually pump in some better lap times here than, I guess, the 44J for tonight. But, I mean, whoever is on the button right now up front is on a blistering pace.
Yeah, Schlosser cut the lead by another 0.3 that last time by.
Traffic side by side here in front of Matichek. It's now under 2 seconds. I mean, Schlosser is coming in a hurry here. And I think it was Zach Lockett last night that said, watch out for Matt Schlosser in the slick. And what do you know? It's pretty slick. 20 to go. Peterson, Palumbo, Leach, all giving way to the race leader. That is up to 9th place, a lap down.
And I will say, Matichek got by all those lap cars, and now Schlosser has to do the same.
Yes, he does.
Peterson hits the wall in front of him. That's going to get rid of one. But, I mean, there's still 4 lap cars in between the race leader and Schlosser.
Jump back to this battle really quick for 6. Williamson still under fire here from Austin Holyfield. And Poliski right in front of him is going to take out Holyfield.
Oh, no!
And Poliski around. Poliski washed down the track, collects the 10. Now, what a good night gone for Holyfield. He will tumble all the way down to 12th and fall off the lead lap. Poliski will get back in line in 10th. Man. But that moves Williamson into the top 5, and he has got nobody around him. So he is good to hang there, as long as he can keep the wheels underneath of him. Gap is stabilized for Joshua Matichek up front. It is 2 seconds. Schlosser finding some difficulty getting through the lap traffic here. Next up will be Hunter Leach.
There was a bit of a minor accident a lap or two ago between Brody Gunter, Brian Mitchell, and Kevin Sargent. They got that sorted out and rolling.
Yeah, Gunter spent 8 minutes on pit road getting damage fixed on that 01 truck. He needs points in a bad way, so he is just trying to ride around on the bottom of the track here and make up as many laps as he can.
And that lead's been cut down to 1.7 seconds now.
Yeah, as soon as Schlosser got through on Hunter Leach there, he was right back on the button.
Another 4 lap trucks for Matichek to get by.
But I always say this, it's going to be on my gravestone, I'm afraid. It's one thing to catch him, it's another thing to pass him. Matichek is not going to make this easy. If indeed he can, or if Matt Schlosser can keep on the pace that he's on.
And with the fact that they're both using that same bottom line, Schlosser's going to have to change something up if he wants to get by.
Matichek underneath Logan. He just had some contact there with Kevin Sargent. They'll both move to the top side. Brian Mitchell is up next here for the 60. 11 to go at the stripe. Only the top 5 are on the lead lap. Next up for the 60 will be Matt Williamson in 5th. There's Stickers McQueen cheering on Rodney Matney. Matney has got quite a bit of damage here, running down in the 22nd position. 10 laps to go, 5 miles from victory number 2 for Joshua Matacek. The lead is now only 1 second, and there's nobody between them currently. Schlosser giving it everything he's got. I think Hunter Leach has had a problem. He's just lost a couple of positions. Down to 12th. Riding on board with Matt Schlosser. He has got Matacek right in the crosshairs. 0.7 of a second. Lapper in the way is a teammate of Matacek's. That's Tyler Bergert. Problems for Hayden Palumbo on track. He's back up and going. He's dropped down to 13th. Back to the lead. 0.6 of a second now. There's Schlosser giving chase to Joshua Matacek.
Both able to get by Brody Gunter here easily. He's going to have 5 laps to get by Matacek.
Has Matacek been saving? Here's Schlosser.
Oh!
5-lap shootout here in Bristol. Side by side for the lead. Good run for Joshua on the top side. Just needs to keep that nose out in front.
Matacek is driving that truck deep into the corners, but Schlosser, he's taking it easy and getting a better run through the middle and exit.
So he's pretty hooked up on the bottom there as they lock together. Right rear to left front, and that's got some damage now on that left front fender for the 60. Schlosser ahead at the line, 3 to go.
Schlosser's clear.
He's clear up. New leader 04. Matacek sends it. Little bit of contact, but it's nothing Schlosser can't survive. 2 laps to go. Can Joshua find a way back into it? Schlosser drive it away. 0.6 of a second. One last chance for a rally here for Joshua Matacek, who has led all but the final 3 laps of this race, if indeed this is going to stick. Matacek drives it down deep, looking for a Hail Mary, but Matt Schlosser is going to survive the improbable victory for Schlosser at the Backyard Brawl at Bristol Dirt, presented by Carve Inside. Schlosser, win number 2 on the season. Oh, Matacek in second. John Kay will finish in third. Chad Stearns in 4th, and Matt Williamson will take a top 5 in his Venom Truck Series debut. Oh, man. Oh, there's John Kay into Matt Schlosser. Wow. A duel right down to the end. That was awesome stuff.
That was. I mean, that was insane how quick Schlosser was. When that slick, I mean, I forget who you said to look out for was Schlosser, but that slick came, and Schlosser, that truck lit up like a rocket.
Yeah, it was Zach Lockett that clued us into the fact that Schlosser was our long gamer. I mean, he ran decent at Volusia, but this I was not expecting. Always full of surprises our driver from Frederick, Maryland. A quick victory lap for him, and he is done. Matt Williamson is at the start-finish line. Why not? He beat the brakes off of me. I finished 27th at Auto Club, and he gets a top 5. How about that? And there it goes. I want to give a shout-out just in case he's watching. It's gone. Our friend Jacob Nagy, the fiddler for Cameron Marlowe, is on this truck here tonight. Oh, my Lord. What did we just witness here tonight? 80 laps, 2 cautions here at the Bristol Dirt Race. What a night. Matt Schlosser, win number 4 in the Venom Truck Series. It's his 2nd of the season. We'll talk to him here in just a second. Joshua Monacek will finish in 2nd. We'll see how he feels about it. 3rd for John Kay. 4th place for Chad Stearns. Matt Williamson, the last driver on the lead lap. We'll round out the top 5. Incredible stuff from him. Tyler Logan in 6th. Austin Holyfield in 7th. Jeremy McKinnon in 8th. Andy Poliski in 9th. Luke Peterson will round out the top 10. RJ Starcevic will go up to 11th. Incredible stuff from him tonight as well. That's awesome. Brantley Gady in 12th. 13th for Hayden Palumbo. 14th for Jan Van Leer. Well, I'm not sure what happened to Hunter Leach there. It's still a career best finish for him here tonight, but he ran most of his race in the top 10 this evening, so he may be a little disappointed with a 15th place finish. But still, a great night for him. Greg Elliott in 16th, Tyler Bergert in 17th, 18th place finish for Brian Mitchell rather. Kevin Sargent 19th, Cole Maxwell 20th. 21st for Garrett Rainey, 22nd for Rodney Matney. Brody Gunter will finish in 23rd. 24th for Gary Clark. Kyle Zittel in 25th. And then I think DNFs from here on out. Eric Breeding at 26th. Pascal Samar 27th. Zach Locke at 28th. That's his worst finish of the season by far. Ryan Dine 29th. Josh Freed similarly his worst finish of the season in 30th. Josh Jackson and an early retirement from Steve Roman. Not even 5 laps into the race here tonight. Well, it is podium interview time, and we talked to him earlier tonight as a heat race winner, but it'll be good to talk to John Kay at the end of the night proper. And a tip for when we interview John Kay, Mr. TJ Crampton, start the stopwatch. But it's good to talk to John here. We'll take the bronze home tonight at the Bristol Dirt Race. How about it?
Oh, man, that was something.
Yeah. What kind of something was it? You were no stranger to the wall tonight.
Yeah, I don't know. It just got tight, I guess. Like, no, it felt well. It got tight because I was bailing out of the throttle like a sissy. But you know, that thing that happens sometimes when you don't want to lose spots on a restart, and I got a little complacent, and I usually don't. But there was times I was just throwing it in there and it would turn great, and other times on the tackier track that it just wouldn't turn at all. So I'd go in there and I'd kind of let off the throttle, see what it would do, and then it would not turn, and I'd bail and should have just gassed it up to try to get it to rotate. But all in all, didn't die. So third, pretty good.
Certainly did not die. TJ, what you got for JK?
Yeah, congratulations on that 3rd place finish. It seemed like that, early in the race and also towards the midpoint, there was, basically the top 5, top 10 were having huge battles. What was it like trying to stay in that top 3 and to stay in the podium?
It was tough. I mean, it would have been a heck of a battle between me and Hayden. I know Hayden got caught up in some stuff, but he was ahead of me. And he was cooking. I mean, he was up in like 2nd, so he was ahead of Schlosser too. He was cooking. He was really quick on the tackier stuff where there was more grip. But as it started to slick off, I'd have been interested to. Obviously, Schlosser was really good. I was hoping I could kind of reel him back in. I know Matt's good on dirt. Obviously, me and him spent a lot of time around each other at Volusia in the Truck 200, and I was just hoping that like him or Hayden or somebody would start to struggle. Selfishly, obviously, I don't want to see Hayden struggle being my teammate, but he got caught up in, I haven't even gotten a chance to look at it, but it was something really bad. So, I mean, it would have been interesting as the race went along to try and stay in that top 3. But I'm just happy. Like, I just had to do one thing tonight, and that was keep the fenders on it, and I think we did a pretty good job of that. So, and just managing traffic at the end. It was kind of hairy at times.
Definitely was pretty hairy in and out of traffic. There were trucks everywhere, all night tonight.
Literally.
So. Yeah, take a bronze, another podium for you. Headed into the All-Star race next week. Congrats on podium number 4 on the season, and we'll get some shout-outs for you here.
Yeah. Also, I do want to mention, you talk about trucks being all over the place. Brody scared the living crap out of me. He was on the apron, and he came out of literally came out of the shadow, and then I just saw a flash of gold, and I was like, well, somebody read me my rights, because I'm about to die. But thankfully we didn't. But yeah, shout out my girlfriend Allie. She's awesome, crushing grad school, going to be a doctor. So no big deal. Trophy husband status incoming. Shout out my mom and my dad. I actually get to go see them, not a reason I want to have to make a trip up north, but I get to see them both in the next couple of days. So that's awesome. I'm very excited for that. Shout out the whole team: Garrett, Paul, Kyle, Luke, Eric, Hayden, Brody. A tough night for some of us. Others of us had better nights, but it was just one of those races that was kind of a cluster, and some of us didn't get the results we necessarily deserved. I know we all put in a lot of practice this week, and yeah, it's tough when we don't all get to have the finishes that we necessarily deserve. Shout out my boss, Sean, gave me a free desk. I wouldn't be able to race without it. Shout out Couch if he's watching. Shout out all the people at Eldora if any of them are watching. I tried to get the race to be at Eldora so I could take an old not sign, but like an old banner or something and send it to somebody as a trophy. But we don't get that because everybody wanted to race lame Bristol. And then shout out you guys in the booth. TJ, I'm excited to go back and see how you sound on a broadcast and not have to listen to lame ass Matt talk. Tommy's great as always, and I can say that and get away with it because he freaking slid me dirty as hell and put me in the freaking wall. That freaking bum.
Well, he was mad that you turned him in practice.
Well, he's a baby, so he can kiss my ass. And you know what? It makes me feel a lot better because earlier this week, or like last week, I told him when I found out he was racing, I told him I was going to kick his ass, and I did. So it makes me feel good. And then shout out to my YouTube, JK Gaming. The Venom cast is up there. Had kind of a crazy weekend. Found out some family stuff and didn't get to podcast this weekend, but we should be back this weekend with some very special guests that you'll be very excited to. Well, we're excited to see one of the two.
Wow.
I am, anyways. Yeah, whatever. And then, vote for Tyler Bergert for the All-Star race.
Oh, boy. Okay. Well, thanks for the time. Congrats on the bronze. We'll hopefully talk to you again next week in Monza.
Probably not, but we're going to go have fun.
Okay. Well, let's drag up your second place finisher here tonight. He led all but the final 3 laps, Joshua Matacek. We'll bring home a runner-up finish. It's the best finish of the season for driver 60. Congrats on a podium finish. I'm sure it's not the one you wanted, though.
Yeah, super stoked to be up here. Just really happy overall to race on dirt. Obviously a little disappointed we couldn't get it done, but I was saying all week leading up to the race, if there's anybody I want to place second to, it'd be Matt Slosser. He's great on dirt. He's a great driver. He's been rocking it this season, so congrats to him on the win. But just happy to race on dirt overall.
Now, did it solely come down to Schlosser just having great long-run pace there in the slick, or did something in the truck, something in the track change there around the midpoint there once you started catching traffic?
I caught a little bit of damage at one point through traffic. There was a truck that got into the wall down the straight and came off and got into my door and threw me down into the infield or into the inside wall. So I picked up a little damage from that. But I think overall he just had a little bit better tire save running with people. Maybe not quite as heavy on throttle as I was. But yeah, it really just came down to who had clean air when the track was faster and who didn't. But still a great race. Really enjoyed our battle. A little bit of Rubbins racing, but definitely fun. Definitely looking to do it again as soon as we can.
You'll have to lobby to some very powerful people here, I think, to see another dirt race anytime soon. But I'll throw my weight behind you. How about that?
Much appreciated.
TJ, what you got?
Yeah, congratulations on that second place finish. How hard was it to get by that lap traffic? It looked like trucks were just going everywhere, left, right, and they were in the wall. They were down on the apron. How hard was it to get by lap traffic?
It depended. The further we get into the race, the more equal the track gets. And I've had those instances in real life racing where once the track gets to the state that it was for the last 20 or 30 laps or so, the guys leading and the guys at the tail are still turning almost exactly the same lap time. So it gets real hard just to even outpace some of the lap trucks. Nonetheless, find the room to get them offline and make the pass. It's definitely always interesting. Bristol dirt, the way that the dirt lays from the inside wall to the apron is super weird because you can run it down for more of a slide line, but if you're trying to keep it on the bottom when it's that slick, it's real tough to teeter right at that edge of where the apron would be.
Well, I mean, the second place here tonight, it's the best finish of the season. I mean, you've had some rough races here recently, sprinkled into the usual what we expect from you here. The sophomore slump kind of hitting you in a weird spot, but, I mean, we've got some momentum now. Final 5 races before the chase. We're right around the cut line. How do we feel headed into the final 5 here?
I mean, feeling good. I came into the season saying, I'm going to make the chase. I'm going to make the chase. And then came off a couple of races outside the top 15. And I was like, you know what? That's the wrong mentality to have. I'm here to have fun, show up, race, enjoy it. And that's honestly when I started putting in some better finishes. So as great as it would be to make the chase and have that on the record, I know I'm not the fastest on asphalt. So, I mean, it's just, I'm here, I'm racing, I'm having fun. Put in the top 3s, top 5s where we can and run the super speedways and have fun with it.
Well, that's a great mentality to have, partner, and it's been a great night watching you work out there. Congrats on the run-around period tonight, and let's get some shout-outs before we let you go.
Big thanks, obviously, to my wife, Bailey, for letting me put in as many laps as I did. I probably put in too many laps. I know last night I put in 500 laps alone in the practice session. So probably put in too many laps, but, I mean, everyone in this booth knows you can never have too many laps on dirt.
No.
But thanks to her for letting me put in the time. Thanks to my parents for always showing up and watching, especially on a night that they can watch me represent a paint that have raced in real life. So super big thanks to them. Big thanks to Matt Slosser, actually. He's managed to drag me into a sprint car series that's starting on Monday. So we'll be hopping in there together as teammates. So like I mentioned earlier, anybody who I'd prefer to lose to would be him.
Well, great stuff here tonight. Great to get to talk to you. Congrats on the pole. Congrats on the heat win. And congrats on the runner-up. And we'll talk to you again Thursday.
Yeah, see you then.
My partner on Thursday nights for the Max VCNC Home Designs Truck Series. We'll be back at Chicagoland there. Matt Schlosser now joins us in booth 200 as a race winner for the 4th time in the Venom Truck Series, and he now joins Chad Stearns as the only other multi-time race winner here this season. How about that?
Yeah. Awesome day, that's for sure.
Well, Zach Lockett pointed out to us last night in the chat. I'm assuming he was talking to us from the Venom Truck Series practice last night while you were racing at Chicagoland, but he said, watch out for Schlosser in the slick. And this track slicked off. You found your way to second, and boy, you closed up a 4.5-ish second gap with relative ease inside of the last 25, 30 laps or so.
Yeah, I mean, I So I was talking to Josh about it, and we kind of felt like maybe in hindsight the strategy was to try to go easy on your tires early. And I was not very fast on the new track. Like I qualified 13th. I luckily moved up in the heat and got a little bit better starting spot, but I wasn't really burning up my stuff in the early stages, which I think really helped me towards the end, because when I got to Josh, like I just felt like I had more grip. Like he obviously is an incredible dirt driver, and it just, I think he felt like he had run out of stuff, and luckily I was able to pass him, and he ran me super clean as always. Massive respect for him, and yeah, it was just one of those races that worked out. The lap traffic never really created too much of an issue for me. I was able to just kind of slowly reel in and not panic or push too hard, and kind of keep gaining a little bit here and there.
TJ, what you got for a race winner?
Yeah, first of all, Schlosser, congrats on the win. And how hard was the changing track conditions? Pretty green to start the race, and then it seemed like everyone was running the top, and then towards the end, everybody was back down on the bottom. How hard were those track conditions?
Yeah, it was tough. I mean, like I said, I sucked on the grippy early on track, and then kind of, you obviously had to adapt and look around for grip. The slick was really tough, but I was able to kind of find this line on the bottom where I could just kind of like hook around, and I think I might have had one tire and some grippier dirt down there, and I was telling John Kay, like I didn't have a lot of confidence up top, so like if the top became the fast line, I'm not sure how it would have ended for me. I maybe could have figured it out, but I was like, the bottom lane was my security blanket, and it carried me all the way through to the end and got me the win. So I was very fortunate for that.
And not 100% sure. I mean, it's an awfully tight race between you and Chad Stearns for the regular season championship at this point. Chad, of course, still finishing in the top 5 here tonight. You take your second win of the season to match that 0-5. Final 5 races of the regular season. I mean, obviously, you're well over 100 points above the cut line at this point. It's going to take something horrible to move you out of the top 10 of the points. But how do we feel about maybe a regular season championship here with 5 to go?
Yeah, I mean, I'll give it everything I've got. I feel like I just need to keep taking it one race at a time. I've learned a lot over the last 2 seasons. I burned up my stuff and got bad finishes a lot of times over the last year or so, and I've kind of learned to, take 6th or 7th place if that's what you're getting that day, instead of trying to throw a Hail Mary and ending up 19th. So I feel like if I can do things like that, it helps you kind of minimize the losses on the less days, and then try to capitalize on good days where you have a chance to win. So yeah, I'll see what I've got. I mean, these guys are good. Chad is super fast. John Kay's up there. Luke's up there. I mean, it'll be tough to hold them off, but I believe there's a little bit of a point bonus if you go in as the regular season points leader for the chase. So it'd be nice to have those couple points in the bag for the chase.
Well, great stuff here tonight. Congrats on win number 2 on the season, win number 4 with the Venom Truck Series. Let's get some shout-outs for you.
Yeah, for sure. Shout out to the league. Shout out to everybody in Venom. Shout out to my satellite team over at 939. Also, wasn't fortunate enough to finish on the podium last night, but I'd like to pile on the Truck 200 love train and just say, thank you so much for putting that league on. It was a freaking blast, and sad to see it go, but honored to be in it. Proud to be a winner in it, and do some awesome racing along the way. So shout out to you guys for that, and also for broadcasting here in Venom. And that's pretty much it.
Well, thank you, partner, for that, and thanks for finding us as well. You've certainly made things on Turn 200 here a lot better since you've moseyed on into the Daredevil series a couple of years ago. So thanks for the time here tonight, and thanks for racing Truck 200 with us. Congrats on another win, and looking forward to many more. We'll hopefully talk to you again next week in Monza.
All right, sounds good. Talk to you later.
And we'll spring an interview here on Matt Williamson. Why not? He's going to be the last driver to finish on the lead lap, but that's good enough for a top 5. How about that?
Yeah, it was an interesting night to start, undoubtedly, but we finally kind of got it figured out there.
Yeah, I don't know. Have you gone back and looked at the crashes that you were able to avoid, because they swallowed up quite a bit of the field?
No, I haven't. I can't go quite back that far, unfortunately.
Oh,
but
well.
I'm sure I'll look at the broadcast and take a gander. But yeah, there were a couple. I really snuck around one on the outside. I don't remember who it was on my bottom, but yeah, I really snuck around that one. And then the one with Andy right in front of me, I avoided that one as well, and he took out Austin for me, so I didn't have to worry about him. So. Yeah, it was an interesting night. It was pretty difficult to get through traffic because everybody was just everywhere.
I mean, on the checklist for you tonight, I mean, number one was to beat me, which you did, very easily. But I mean, we told your story as well. You know, you started iRacing on dirt. This was one that you were really looking forward to. We kept it under wraps for a while, finally blew the lid off of it a few weeks ago, that you were going to get out and give this a shot here tonight. I mean, what were the expectations coming into tonight for yourself, running against these guys that you commentate every Tuesday, and how did that match up with the result?
Yeah, I mean, I had high hopes for sure. I mean, I really thought I should have been in the top 10, but I haven't run a truck on dirt in a very long time, and I've run very limited dirt racing recently. So I was coming in with pretty high hopes, but also trying to tamper those expectations a little bit. I really think the name of the game tonight was kind of staying out of trouble, which I very narrowly did. So yeah, I think just doing that, I probably would have shaken out maybe 6th or 7th, but yeah, just avoiding some wrecks, I was able to get in the top 5 there.
TJ, you got anything for our buddy Matt here?
Yeah, I'm gonna ask the same question I asked Slosher. Oh my gosh. What was the changing track conditions like throughout the race? Because people were in the bottom, then the top, and then it seemed like the top fell away and people went back down to the bottom.
Yeah, I tried to get to the top pretty quick. I ran the bottom for, I don't know, maybe 15, maybe 20 laps at the most. I tried to get to the top. I mean, that's kind of where I felt more comfortable, but by the end of it, I had Hunter Leach with me in chat, and he goes, hey, man, like, Schlosser and Matichek, like, they're both running the bottom. Maybe you should just try it. And sure enough, like, the last, I don't know, maybe 15 laps, I started running the bottom, and it ended up working really well for me. I should have done it about 5 laps earlier, and I think I could have gotten Chad there. I just narrowly missed him, so... but yeah, it was tough. I really thought it would just kind of stick to the top for most of the time and they would just even out. But for me, the bottom ended up being really fast at the end, which I was kind of surprised.
Well, you know, we like to reserve the shout outs for the podium finishers. But you know, if you've got one shout out that you want to give, who would you give it to?
I gotta give my shout out to my boy Nagy, who was on the track here or on the truck here tonight. Yep,
he was on the track.
Gave me a nice Nagy paint scheme. The Fiddler on the Roof, as he put on there. So yeah. Also, want to on the broadcast thank Tommy Cook for all of his work in Truck 200. I know we kind of had a bit of a ender to our Truck 200. IP last night, and I didn't really get to thank you at all. So, for what it's worth, thank you very much. I don't think anybody realizes just how much you do to make all of this happen. So, thank you to you.
Well, I'm really happy. I'm mad that you beat me, but you know, I'm happy that you know, if you would have finished 26, we would have had some words afterwards. But you know, first top 5 of possibly many with the Venom Truck Series. Who's to say? But way to make the first one count, and congrats on a solid run here tonight.
It's Bristol, baby!
The perfect button from Matt Williamson. So, yeah, not to undermine Matt Schlosser by putting an interview over him, but this is a momentous occasion here on Turn 200. Matt Williamson technically has a podium finish on the channel, but that was in a recruitment race in Daredevil that was attended by about 10 people. I mean, these are the drivers that we commentate on week in and week out, so this is a pretty big night for driver 02. TJ, it's your first taste of the Venom Truck Series here tonight, but it's on some familiar turf with the some familiar turf with the dirt on the track. What'd you make of the whole thing?
It was very, very entertaining. It was kind of the way I thought it would play out with the track surface and how the lines. I was not expecting the bottom to come in though late in the race, and Schlosser absolutely smoked Motocek late in the race, even if Motocek did have some damage. But it was very entertaining from the get-go, and I was very, very happy and excited to be up here in the booth to watch it and be a part of it.
Absolutely, partner. Thank you for coming out here tonight. I'm sure we'll be hearing more of you as the series roll along here on Turn 200. Matt Williamson, of course, stepping aside from some of the series. He'll still be here on Tuesday nights with the Venom Truck series for the next season and a half, and we've still got the Daredevil series on lock, but we'll be rotating in more broadcasters as the weeks and months go along here in 2025 before Matt Williamson and myself step aside from full-time broadcasting duties here on Turn 200. So thank you, TJ, for coming out here tonight. Thank you to everybody that was in the chat here as well. Shout out to Bailey Marie. Shout out to Lindsey G. Robin. RJ Starcivic bringing home a good finish here tonight. James Coleman. Kevin Sargent. Tyler Berger. Ty Coleman. Leo Smith. Zach Lockett. Stickers McQueen. And Flanky Roberts sneaking in the chat there late as well. Unfortunately, yes, you did miss it, and you are no longer the defending Bristol Dirt winner, unfortunately. But hopefully we'll get the crown back on you here sooner rather than later. So thank you to everybody that was hanging out with us here tonight, whether you were chatting or not. We really appreciate it. Some upcoming action. We've got tomorrow night off, but it is the Max V CNC Home Designs Truck Series Thursday night from Chicagoland, where we just were last night with Truck 200. 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time for Max V action with myself and Joshua Maticek on the call for that one. Friday night, it is the Special Stage Pro Truck Series from James Watson's home track, the Sonoma Rallycross Course. He and I will have the call there 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time for that one. And no more Monday night action. But that will lead us into the Venom Night of All-Stars next Tuesday night, 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time. And it is the Monza Right Turning Oval. And for anybody that does not know what that is, you are in for a treat. Next Tuesday night, 8:15 p.m. Eastern Time. That is one you do not want to miss. Thank you to everybody with the Venom Truck Series. Thank you to Nathan Reynolds with Car Inside as well for sponsoring tonight's Backyard Brawl, presented by Car Inside. Thank you to the league admins here at the Venom Truck Series. They have their hands full here tonight. Thank you to TJ Crampton for being in the booth here with me. And thanks to Matt Williamson for some periodic interviews throughout the night as well. Until we meet again here from the Last Great Coliseum, my name is Tommy Cook, and I'm saying so long, and congratulations to Matt Schlosser on win number 4 in the Venom Truck Series, his second of the season. This has been a live broadcast on Turn 200. Be sure to hit subscribe and hit the bell to get notified of when we go live next. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you again soon.